Today on the show, we're gonna be talking about Glory. It's totally gnarly. Oh man, I can't say enough about Joe Keatinge and Ross Campbell's Glory. I took a chance on it. I looked at this cover and I was like, I gotta pick this up and see what's going on. And I'm so glad I did. I was not let down in any way, shape, or form. I wasn't familiar with Joe Keatinge before, but I know that he's done Hell Yeah and a bunch of other acclaimed stuff, and like Pop Gun, and he's relatively like just starting to do a lot of writing stuff. Wow, what a good writer. Wow. Glory origins. So let's take a trip back in time to my favorite period of comics, 1995. Glory #1. She's this Rob Liefeld Wonder Woman knockoff character who's like half Amazon, half demon, you know, and she's fighting for men and fights on her own terms, and she only had like 22 issues of her own title, and then she was like kind of in Brigade here and there and whatever, and like had some sort of weird relationship with Supreme. I don't know. Glory originates from the Image 90s revolution when they were like cranking out characters left and right and upside down to fill up their crazy newfangled Image universe. And Glory was created by none other than Rob Liefeld. I feel bad about, I don't want to bag on Rob Liefeld because everyone bags on Rob Liefeld, you know, like, and he's totally, I was reading an article and like he approves of this. He's like involved in this. I mean, he doesn't like, he's not involved, but I mean, he like approves of all of it. He's been like really, say what you will about Rob Liefeld, but the man is prolific. And you know what? He totally has given his blessing for this new Glory imprint. And that's totally awesome. He's not trying to impede them in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like I don't want to bag on Rob Liefeld, okay? Everybody bags on, it's too easy of a target. And you know what? Rob Liefeld has feelings too. So maybe we shouldn't be such a dick to him all the time, okay? Stop, let's just all agree to stop making fun of Rob Liefeld. I think enough is enough. Hey Rob Liefeld, you're all right. I'll make fun of him later, I'm sure. But right now, let's be positive. Yeah, if you need a time frame for when Glory came out, True Lies was also coming out when Glory first came out, all right? Oh, yikes. Yikes. You can meet Evangeline in real life, and she wears crushed velvet. Well, knockoff, like crap crushed velvet, synthetic crushed velvet, and she's got this cool choker. I mean, you think they could have made a better costume. Like, you think they could have, like, paid Evangeline from Party City. Only $19.99. This is not made for me. This is not made for any woman. The target audience for Glory was impressionable teenage boys. She's just another TNA Image character, you know, who has no depth or personality, is not relatable in any way, shape, or form, and is just forgettable. It's just very forgettable and faded into obscurity when the comics bubble burst after the ridiculousness of the 90s. Oh, it's just so bad. I read this, I actually read this, I just read this, and it's really bad. It's really bad. Yeah. I feel bad looking at this. I don't know. But this makes me so excited, I just don't even know. Like, there's no words for how fucking good this is, okay? Man, Joe Keatinge really took Glory, who I just told you about, who is this awful throwaway character, and turned her into something that is completely unique and amazingly interesting. And I'm just so, that as a character that I'm really excited about, a character that I just can't get enough of, okay? A character that I can't get enough of. And he writes a strong female protagonist extremely well. He doesn't make her a bitch. A lot of male writers don't know how to write strong female characters. They have a hard time with it, and he does a pretty good job. So why is Glory awesome? Let me count the ways. First of all, I love the fact that they started with issue number 23. They didn't even start over. That like the old Glories stopped at 22 and they picked up at 23, and I think that's pretty interesting. Second of all, I love that Glory isn't some stupid TNA character anymore. I am so sick of it, like I've already explained. I love that she's this giant, ripped, muscle-bound bitch who will tear your arm off. She will tear your arm off, and she does not give a shit. And I love it. I love it. She has awesome armor on all the time. Like, she's got all these crazy weapons, and she kind of hulks out. They've redone her origins to where she's not some Amazonian demon person, okay? Now she's alien. They're saying that, like, her parents are aliens, not demons and not Amazons. They're just like an Amazonian alien and like a weird demonish looking alien. And I think that that's a really great addition. So the new Glory is this giant hulking bitch who's like huge. She's huge. She's like roided out. She's got like giant muscles. She's scarred all over her fucking body, all over her face and her arms and everything because she's a warrior. And then once she gets going, she kind of like hulks out and like gains all this weird momentum, and like all these blue spikes start coming out of her, like when she gets really pissed, and like she'll get all these like little fangs and her eyes turn blue and she'll like eat your face off. She eats people's faces off. She will eat your face off. It's great. It's great. And she has mommy issues, and she almost killed her own dad. There's this big interplanetary war going on, and it's totally awesome, and she'll break your arms, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She's just merciless. She's a slaughterer. She was raised from birth to be just a murderer, and it's awesome. I mean, the name of the first volume is The Once and Future Destroyer. She's a destroyer. I could read Glory for the hair alone. It's phenomenal. And this story isn't told from Glory's point of view, it's told from this little girl, Riley's point of view, who's had like dreams of Glory her entire life, and she wants to be a journalist, and she goes to find Glory, who's been missing for decades, which is awesome because Glory's been missing for years in real life. That's so genius. What a great connection. Anyways, well, I get all excited when I talk about Glory. It makes me hulk out. I'm gonna get pissed off. I want you to read it, or I'm gonna eat your face off. It's kind of complicated, but I'm going to brief you a little bit, okay? The deal is that Glory is a time bomb, essentially. At some point, she probably is going to destroy the Earth because she's a destroyer, and that's what she does. And once she gets started, she doesn't stop. She's got a lot of momentum behind her, and her friends are going to try to figure out a way to stop her from destroying the Earth, but they don't know exactly how they're going to do it because they still like her, but then she is a liability. So much so that Supreme before has been like, hey bitch, you're kind of a liability, and like, I don't know, I don't really trust you, and like, it's unacceptable, and you're like second to me in strength or whatever. And she's like, what did you just say to me? I'm second to you in strength? Like, fuck you, pal. Like, I laugh at this bullshit that you're trying to tell me right now. She's like, fuck you, I'm not gonna listen to a word you say, you try to rule me. Like, get out of here with that crap. Glory doesn't listen to anybody, okay? Glory does what Glory wants to do, and that's awesome. Okay, so let me give you some spoilers too. There's like this future timeline flashback. Yeah, so Supreme is essentially like the Image Comics version of Superman, and he's talking to her and he like talks down to her like she's second to him or some shit, and she is like, yeah, right, bro. Like, take a back seat, okay? Like, you do not talk to me like that. I'm not gonna take that from you. He's like, breaks her arm, and he's like, yelled, and then she's like, oh, fine, and then she takes his hand, and then she rips his arm off and is like, ah, fuck you. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. And the gore, oh my gosh, there's so much great gore in this comic. It's phenomenal. Like, all right, more spoilers. I don't even care. After you hear this, you're totally gonna read this comic. So, we find out later that Glory has a sister, and her sister is fucking crazy too. Like, her sister's even crazier than she is, but she's like all super lithe and like little and still has a tail, but she's like super gnarly, okay? Anyways, she goes to her sister, they get in this crazy fight, and then she's like choking her sister out, and then her sister's like face turns into this thing and opens up, spits acid all over Glory's face. Glory's face is melting off, and then they go to punch each other, and they punch each other's arms into oblivion, and it's so cool and awesome. It's just like my favorite panel like I've seen in like a while. Like, it really is really good. They punch each other's arms off. It's crazy. Their arms explode when they punch each other. It's like, this is what I've been missing in my life. Like, this is what I need, and I'm just so happy to have a female character who fucking kicks ass, takes names, and is just totally badass and will rip people's arms off and whatever. It's awesome. First of all, let's talk about Ross Campbell for just a minute. He's this, like, independent artist. He's done Wet Moon, that's his own comic. He's also done, like, Water Baby, where this girl got her, like, leg eaten off by a shark, and then she's gonna deal with her deadbeat ex-boyfriend. And you wouldn't think that this guy would be, like, they'd come to him to draw the new Glory, but I'm so glad that they did. And let me tell you why. The thing that I am most impressed at with Ross Campbell's artwork is the plethora of body types that he draws for women, okay? One of my main complaints in comics is that every woman has the same fucking body. They all have the same body. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy because you know what? There's so many different types of bodies that are all beautiful. Like, there's really curvy girls with, like, giant boobs and a fat ass, and they look great. And then there's, like, skinny little waif girls. And then there's, like, everybody in between. I mean, there's not just one body type, people. There's not one, okay? There's lots of different types, and they're all beautiful. And Ross Campbell loves drawing all of them, and I love it. I love it. I love the diversity. I love his attention to hairstyles. He's got all these different hairstyles. Every time you see Glory, she's got like weird zigzag parts, and then sometimes she has pigtails, and then sometimes she has braids, and then sometimes she has it up in a banana clip. It's really good, okay? It's good. It's very well done. Ross Campbell also draws girls without arms and legs and shit all the time. That's how awesome this guy is. Like, I love him. He's fantastic, and I'm so glad that they got him. And for those of you who don't read comics yet, I'm looking at you, this is the type of story that you can only get in comics. You can't find it in movies. You're not gonna see it in a novel. It's such a perfect comic book story. It's just fun. It utilizes the medium to its fullest potential, and you should read it. And you should just read comics in general. Quit being a pussy and go buy some comics, okay? They're not gonna bite you. They'll bite the fuck out of your budget. And now's the time where I get to ask you to do me a favor. I need you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. How hard is this? Click. How hard is that? Click. Now you do it. It's your turn. Now you try.
Girl 19? What's wrong?
No. I just heard the worst news on Twitter. I'm really upset. It ruined my night, and I was having a really good day.
What is it?
Joe Keaton said that they're not going to do any more Glory after 34. And that's only 4 more issues. I can't take it. I can't do it. What? Yeah, they can't wrap this up in 4 issues. They just introduced a new sister, and it's Glory gonna, like, destroy the Earth on her quest for personal revenge? Like, now I'll never know. And it's, like, the most exciting new character I've read in a long time. And I'm fucking pissed off. I'm like, don't accept this.
You make me smile when you make 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 You make me smile when you Everybody just freeze when my people Everybody just freeze when my people Everybody just freeze when my people Everybody just freeze when my
Oh my gosh, what can you expect next season? Oh, I've stumbled upon something pretty terrific that I'm really excited about. It's gonna take me a while, okay? But I got some new Comics for Smart People episodes coming out, explaining some crazy shit, you know, talking about like golden ratio within comic book story forms and stuff. Like, it's totally weird, and you're gonna love it.